Today we're making a Nonya Kueh Lapis, or a sweet, addictively chewy 9-layer steamed cake. Look at how colorful and pretty and fun this looks. It's also so yummy and requires a very minimal ingredients, but not exactly easy to make. I attempted this 3 times, okay, so I've got lots of tips here for you to make a foolproof Kueh Lapis. So let's do this. First, we're making a sugar syrup. Now, I am going to flavor my sugar syrup with these pandan leaves, also known as screwpine leaves. Just give them a wash and knot it like this. You can also just use pandan essence. Add that to a pot of water, as well as sugar. Place this over the heat and let this mixture come to a simmer. Make sure to stir to dissolve the sugar easily, and the sugar syrup is ready once all of the sugar dissolves. And then simply remove the pandan leaves. Now I can just easily take the pandan leaves out, but if you see fibers in your sugar syrup, you might want to run it through a strainer. This is coconut cream, and I'm adding the sugar syrup earlier that we made to this cream. Now, if you are not using pandan leaves, but you are going to be using a pandan essence or vanilla essence, you can use that as well. You add it in at this point. And then give this coconut milk and sugar syrup mixture a good stir to get everything all nice and incorporated. And our liquid ingredients are ready. To our coconut sugar syrup mixture, add in a tapioca flour and give it a whisk. I added my flours gradually so that it mixes easily and is less messy, but it doesn't really matter. You can dump the whole flour in at one go if you have space for it. Then I'm adding in a rice flour too. So tapioca flour gives the Kueh Lapis that stretchy, chewy bounciness, while rice flour adds softness as well as the opaque white color. If you have more tapioca flour, your Kueh Lapis will be more translucent. Add some salt to that because salt always helps, and then give that another whisk just to get everything nicely mixed in. And that is your batter. You should still have a runny batter just like this. Alright, next. This is quite an important step, and that would be to strain this mixture. I first run it through a strainer into a measuring cup first. And then I'm straining it back into a pitcher this time, just because it's a lot easier to handle. You can use another measuring cup if you have, or if you still want to use your bowl, you can if it's not messy for you, but it is messy for me. Basically, you want to strain this mixture a couple of times. This does 2 things. First, it removes any lumps that you have. We want a nice, super smooth mixture, okay? Secondly, it gets rid of a lot of the bubbles that you get in your batter from whisking your mixture. Now, if you whisk your mixture well, there's just no helping it. You're gonna get a lot of these mini little bubbly, frothy bubbles. Okay. You still end up with some bubbles at the end of the straining process, but not as much as if you did not strain the mixture. You don't want a batter with too much bubbles, otherwise you're gonna get a Kueh Lapis with lots of mini holes in it. And that is our batter all done and ready for the next part. Okay, so this is the fun part. At least it is for me. Now, it's called a 9-layer cake, so I want to make sure that I have 9 layers. If you're not extra like me, then don't worry. You can just separate the batter into 3 portions and alternate those. But no, we are going to be doing 9 colors today. I like to be specific, so I separate my batter into 9 equal parts, and each layer will be 100 milliliters. I have almost 1 liter of batter, so we'll have a bit of extra, but it's always better to have more batter than less. To color these, I am going to be using just 3 food colorings. I have red, yellow and blue food coloring here, and we're going to be doing some fun color mixing. Every food coloring is different, so I'm not going to give specific drops, really just play around with the colors. Now the colors I'm mixing here would be red, pink, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, as well as a purple. So that's 8 colors, and for the final layer I'll be using white, so we just use the original better. I'll include all these color combinations in the description box below, but really just have fun playing around. This is all so pretty and I'm getting excited, so let's get to cooking this. But first, let's prepare our container, and you want to make sure it's steam proof. I am using a 7-inch round dish here. Lightly coat the container with oil, and this is going to help the cake to not stick to the container so that you can flip it out easier. You don't want to add too much oil though. I accidentally added too much here, so I'm blotting mine with a kitchen towel. And then you want to make sure your steamer is already on a rolling boil. And then place your oiled pan to the steamer so that it can warm up first. Just leave it in there for about 10 minutes or so. You also want to prepare a pitcher of water on the side to refill your steamer as it loses water. Now this is super important. Not having enough water will cause the layers to not cook properly, and we just don't want that. I want my first layer to be red, so that's what I'm adding first to my dish. Now before adding the batter, make sure you give it a good stir, because when left alone, the flours would tend to separate, so we want them to be mixed together again before we add it into the steamer. For the first layer, we are steaming these for 7 minutes. At the 7-minute mark, your first layer should not be liquidy anymore, and if you touch it, it should still be kind of sticky. Use a chopstick to just give it a tap, and it should feel solid and mildly sticky. Now go on and add the second layer. That's the pink layer for me, and again make sure you stir the batter before pouring it on. Now for the second layer, we are going to steam it for just 5 minutes. Depending on the steamer that you have, I like to give my cover a wipe with a towel so that the condensation from before do not drip into my wet layer and causing holes. We don't want that. At the 5-minute mark, same thing, it should solidify and be sticky when touched. Use a chopstick again, it's just easier. And do the same thing for the next layer, which is orange for me. Pour it over the pink and let that steam for 5 minutes. Again, I am wiping the condensation off my lid before popping it back on. And then rinse and repeat for the rest of the layers, steaming each of them for 5 minutes, except for the final layer. So our final layer, layer number 9, which is our white layer, you want to give that a stir first before pouring that in. And this time around, we are letting our white layer steam for 10 minutes. This is to let the kueh fully set. And ta-da, we're all done. Well, almost. Take the Kueh Lapis out, and we are letting this cool for at least 3 hours. I know it's a long time, but we have to do this to let it completely set. 3 hours later, we are going to gently get this Kueh Lapis out of the baking dish. Using a spatula, gently swivel the edges of the kueh to loosen the kueh from the dish. turn the dish over and the kueh should kind of peel off the container and come off easily. Or you can use the spatula to help things along. Just like this. To cut the kueh, you can use a knife and you want to prepare an oiled paper towel on the side. You must wipe and clean the knife with the paper towel after every slice for a smooth slice each time, otherwise it's really very messy. Or a better way would be to use one of these plastic knives. You get this when you order a birthday cake usually. Or a baking cutter spatula thingy will work as well. These plastic knives will cut into the kueh so much more easily than the metal ones. I don't know what the science is, and you don't have to wipe after every cut. Up to you whichever way you want to cut. I'm obviously not an expert with this, with my very crooked lines, but ultimately it doesn't matter, okay, because individually they look absolutely amazing. Look at this, all the pretty colorful layers, and your rainbow kueh lapis is all done. Very little ingredients and super easy with my foolproof tips. These kueh lapis are super chewy, addictive, and you can't stop eating this. I just love peeling it layer by layer. So give this a go and bye! If you want more dessert recipes, why not check out this next easy and no bake recipe as well. Go on now!